Person who has done business and maybe has done business and he has done over $10 million and then he goes to broke, that guy can become a millionaire in 1 year. Okay, so you want to start a farm, a poultry farm, any other kind of farm, a pig farm, a dairy farm, a goat farm. It all depends on what you want to start. But today I'm going to tell you on how you'll be able to start a farm without having money. Zero, meaning you're a brokey out there and you want to start a farm and you'll be able to make profits afterwards. Meaning you don't have any money in your bank accounts, you're not taking any loans, you don't have a job, you're seated in your house, you're looking very broke. Today, things that I'm going to tell you are the things that will change your life forever. These are the things that they have never been told on the internet. Most of these people usually just beat around the bush and they tell you to get a job. You don't want to get a job. You want to start a farm of your own and be financially stable and have that financial freedom on your own. You don't want to work for other people for them to succeed in their dreams. You only want to work for yourself and be able to succeed in your own dreams as a farmer or any other kind of business. And without wasting your time, make sure you like this video, comment, subscribe down below. Now let's get started. The first thing that you can start a farm without having any kind of money. You are a brokey. You're seated down on your couch. You're seated on your bed. You're sleeping on your bed. You're looking upon the sky so that any miracle can happen. Today, I have something good for you. The first thing is for you to become something known as a middleman. You know, when you're becoming a middleman, you are offering market for farmers who don't have a ready market for their products. So what you do, you becomes like, for example, like a salesman. So you get the market for the products, for the produce of the farmers that they have on their farm. So what you do, for example, as for me, back in 2019, I started my farm with no money, absolutely zero. I was broke. I wanted money so that it can have upkeep there in the university. So what I did, I started as a middleman in my business. And the business that I was engaging in is, as you all know, is poultry farming. So what I did, the first thing I did, I needed to identify the best product that I can sell out of poultry, since I'm doing poultry farming. So what I did, I went onto the internet. I needed my phone because I was on Facebook and I also was on Twitter. So I needed my phone. So what I did, I took my phone, then I went on Facebook. When I was on Facebook, I needed to advertise the products of farmers. For example, so what I started with, I wanted to sell chicks. So I started advertising the day-old chicks. You see, I started advertising the day-old chicks so that I can get a market for the day-old chicks that I was sourcing from a farmer. So what I did, I joined various groups on Facebook that were for poultry farming in Kenya. So I joined various groups, then I started advertising. The better thing here is that I had no money. The only thing that I needed was the internet and my phone and my brain, so that you can be able to get a ready market and be able to advertise at the best premium rates, so that you can be able to get some profits out of your advertisement and your hard work that you are doing on the internet. So what I did, I went to the internet, I advertised on those various groups. I advertised fertilized eggs, I advertised stable eggs, month-old chicks, day-old, 1 week old, up to mature chicken. But the funny thing is that what I wanted to know is I wanted to get the ready market for the products that I will be able to start my farm and have all my concentration on. Because, you know, in this kind of farming, it is also a very safer way to start a business, because when you're starting this business, you're trying to gauge the market. When you're gauging the market using this way, you're using another person's product so that you can be able to gauge the market. For example, here I used another person's product because I was not producing. I had no money. So I was using the other people's products and I was advertising it on the internet. Because I was advertising the other people's product on the internet, I was able to get customers of a certain product. And then I knew the demand for that product is widely available for that product. So when I started my farm, that helped me big time, because I had known that product had huge demand on the market. So that is what really helped me there. So what I did, I started with those Facebook groups, so whereby I usually got these chicks from a farmer who was producing them. This is hatchery, who was producing them in large quantities, and he was selling to me at a discount, whereby I will buy a chick, like for example, like 50 Kenyan shillings, then I will sell it at 65. So I was getting like a margin of 15 bob, a markup, 15 bob Kenyan shillings. So this is how the business was working. I went and then I got the chicks from the farmer. After I've gotten the chicks from the farmer, I negotiate with the farmer, that person who has that hatchery and those that have those chicks. I negotiate with them the price. After I've negotiated the price, then I go and advertise on the internet. I have added my markup of that 15 Kenyan shillings so that I'll be able to get a profit out of that business. I won't just be working for that guy, but I'll also get a profit of some money from that product. So what I did, after I've gone onto the internet, I add my 15 Kenyan shillings on top of the price that we had negotiated on. Then I advertise. After I have advertised, then I get a client. What I will do is I'll tell the client to send me the money for the purchase of the chicks. It works like drop shipping. Like, have you ever heard of Shopify and drop shipping in the US? So this one was the local way of doing it here in Kenya. So after I've gotten the money from the client, I go and pay to that farmer who is supplying me with the commodities. Like, for example, for the day-old chicks, I will go and get it from the farmer after I've added my markup. You get it? So after I've done that, then I go and take those chicks from those farmer, then I remove my profit of it. Then I send it to the person that has bought. So that was the only trick that I was using. So after I've done that for a long time, I did it like from 2017 to 2018. Then I had enough money to be able to start my own poultry farm, because what I did, I never had any money. I only had my phone and I was able to start that venture. But sometimes it comes, you can get losses. Like, for example, there was on this day whereby I was sending some chicks to Nairobi, which is like 400 kilometers from my place where I stay, which is like in Bungoma. So it was like 400 kilometers away. And I had an order from a place known as Gilgil. So the funny thing is that, you know, Nairobi is 400 kilometers from my home, but Gilgil is around 280 kilometers from my home. So what I did, the funny thing and the bad thing I did, is I sent those chicks to Nairobi first so that they can come back to Gilgil. Because, you know, I realized heat stress kills chicken more than cold stress. So what I did, I sent the chicks at night to Nairobi. You know, we are using these public transport vehicles, and those guys sent the chicks to Nairobi. So after I've sent the chicks to Nairobi, I have this man of mine in Nairobi, a colleague, a friend of mine, who usually picks the chicks from me at the bus station so that he can be able to send them back to Gilgil. And the reason why I never sent the chicks during the day is because of heat stress. So I had to send them at night, and at night the bus that I was using to send the chicks to Nairobi passes at Gilgil like at midnight. So it won't be able for the client to pick the chicks at that time during the night, at midnight. It won't be safe for her. So, and it was a madam. So what I did, I sent the chicks to Nairobi. After the chicks have reached Nairobi, they reached Nairobi, the bus delayed on the way, and it reached Nairobi around 7 in the morning. So when the chicks arrived in Nairobi at 7 in the morning, I thought that my guy, my colleague, picked the chicks and wanted to send them to Gilgil. And the funny thing, there were 250 month-old chicks. Month-old, these one are not day-old. They were month-old chicks. So the guy picked the chicks from the stage, and then he wanted to send them to Gilgil. And the funny thing, on that day, it was a very miserable day, since on that day, the matatu in Kenya, those public transport vehicles that we use here in Kenya, they were on a crackdown and they were on a strike. So not so many vehicles were on the road by then. So we had to try to send those chicks to Gilgil, and it was a very hard time. And it really wasted a lot of time, because like up to like 10 or 11 in the morning, the chicks were unable to be sent to Gilgil because there was no public transport. So we tried to use these Uber and Bolt, those taxi app. So when we asked for the price, they told us from Nairobi up to Gilgil, the price was $100, which was like, I don't know, it was like 12,000 Kenyan shillings. But for the vehicle, when you look on the app was saying that the price was like 2,000 or 3,000 at maximum. But now, that was the bad part. So we weren't able to send the chicks on time. So the chicks start dying because of the heat stress. Because it is around 11 and the chicks start dying. And they died like 54 of them. 54 chicks out of 250. That is a loss of over 11,000 Kenyan shillings. And you know, you have bought these chicks at a very cheap, at a markup of like only 50 Kenyan shillings. And when you are sending them, you are using your own transport. And when you incur such losses, because when you incur such losses, we finally found a vehicle that can send the chicks to our farmer, but we had incurred a huge loss on that part, whereby when we sent the chicks to the farmer, we found out that we had lost 54 out of the 250. So we had to refund the farmer that difference. Now you get it. So when you are doing this kind of middleman business, make sure you have to really check the distance of where you're transporting your chicks to, and also check the quality of the chicks that you are buying, because if you don't get the good quality of chicks that you are buying, it will really destroy the reputation of your company. And since you want to start like a farm so that it can get your reputation, make sure you're getting the chicks from a reputable supplier or a reputable hatchery, whereby you'll be able to have a traceability of your chicks and be able to also improve on your market. Because you know, in this business, in many businesses, most of people usually get customers or clients through something known as referrals. So if you destroy your referral link, you won't be able to get more customers. You'll just see customers getting away, and you won't know what really happens for their customers they are getting away. So that is the first thing that you have to do to start a farm without no money. And the second thing is, this one is very good, and it is by getting funded by the NGOs. You know, the better part of getting funded with the NGOs is that when these NGOs usually come into a country and they usually check out our community. So when they come and they check out our community and they see maybe this community has a deficit in a certain place and they want to make an economical and social impact in that area, these NGOs usually come up with these business pitches whereby they tell, if you are a youth, a woman, or any other kind of person, they are saying they are trying to fund an idea. And if they come and they say they want to give out money in terms of grants, not loans, you know. So they come and then they say, we want to fund an idea. For example, here in Western, where people usually like putting poultry farming, here in Kenya, in Western province, whereby people like putting the chicken, rearing chicken. Maybe they can say they want to try and lift the dairy industry in this area. So what they will do, they will come to this area, then they will say, we have advertised for you guys to try and pitch out your idea on any business, so that on the dairy business, so that they can be able to fund that business and be able to start it in this area. So that the only thing that maybe they can need you, for example, if you are in Bungoma and you have that knowledge of dairy farming, maybe you are in Western, or in that particular area, let me say like that, and they want you to promote that dairy farming. Maybe you have the dairy farming skills and they want you to promote it. So they will come and they will tell people to write proposals. For that person who will write a good proposal based on what those guys really want, they will be able to fund your business. So they will give you that grant for you to be able to start your venture. That is the easiest thing for you to do, because that is a grant and it is a lump sum, a huge amount of money that can make you just come from zero and go like this in 1 year. So that is another thing that you can do to be able to start this venture or start a farm without any money. So that is the only trick, guys. If you have to do it, you have just to do it the smart way. And also, if there are something known as the angel investors, whereby they come into a country, maybe they just have that urge to help people, and when they come into a country, they want to help those people that themselves were, like, I don't know how to put it. If you align with what they really want, they will come and try to invest in your company. This is after you have started your company, and this can really promote. Maybe you can just have a very small, maybe you started a poultry farm or you started any kind of venture, then it failed, but you want to get a small, these guys usually come, then you can sell to them an equity of your business, small percentage of the equity in your business, then you will be able to get some money from them, and then you can be able to continue with your poultry farming. This is for the persons that have already started the business. But if you have not started, go for the NGOs that are funding an idea. And there are many out here. So guys, don't waste your time crying that you don't have money to start a business. It's only the idea. I think this is what I usually say. A person who has done business, and maybe has done business and he has done over $10 million, and then he goes to broke, that guy can become a millionaire in 1 year. I usually just say like this. It is the mind, man. If you have a great mind, the brain, the mind, and the mindset, all that, it all comes down to the mindset. If you have a good mindset and you know how things are done, you can be a millionaire just instantly. That is what I believe in. And if you want to know how you're farming your way towards poverty, click up here. Like the video, subscribe.